Do, 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 do. So, you might have already seen on my shorts on this channel that I've done something a little bit bonkers, really. I drove a round trip of, I don't know, probably getting on for a couple of 100 miles actually, scarily. Maybe it wasn't quite that much, but long story short, eBay told me about an auction which was collection only for a large volume of Eaglemoss Star Trek collectibles. And I did a quick mental calculation and I figured the per unit cost of this is not ridiculous if I don't get into a bidding war for it. And blow me down, I got it for the asking price because being collection only, there are only so many people who are going to be able to pick it up. So, this video is gratuitous self-advertisement, basically, because I currently have an auction running for 58, that's 58 Eaglemoss Star Trek models, and I've tried to price them all around about what Master Replicas are currently selling them for, if they have them. Some of them they don't have currently, and if you're not aware, Master Replicas, as I understand it, they are just selling off old Eaglemoss stock from after Eaglemoss went under. So, these are not being made anymore, but they are being sold still. So I'm trying to sort of sell them for quite reasonable prices, because the nice thing about this collection, and what really surprised me about it, was that the backstory is that it was being sold by a community interest company. If you don't know what one of those is, that basically means that they're a not-for-profit. So it's like a charity, basically. And they told me that this guy had just given them this collection, and it's not just what you can see in front of you. This is just a tiny fraction. These are the ones that I don't have. Well, sorry, these are some of the ones that I don't have in my collection at the moment. So things like a small Voyager Delta Flyer. Now, the collection also included duplicates of these, so where I have duplicates, even of the ones that I didn't already have, those are up for auction. And I'm going to put the URL on the screen so you can see that, and you can go and have a look if you're interested. But I was really surprised because I've got a whole slew of magazines as well. If you're not familiar, the Eaglemoss models generally came as part of a magazine collection. So you would get the magazine and one of these in a sealed cellophane wrapper. And I've got a few examples of those which are also up for auction at the moment. And the rest of these I'm going to be doing unboxing videos on. I've done this in the past. I haven't done them for a little while, although ironically, I just picked up an SS Enterprise refit. Well, it's a refit of the NX-01 actually, but it's called the SS Enterprise. And I'm laughing because the irony is I got not one but two of those in this collection. And for a vastly cheaper than I actually paid for them, my example of it on eBay originally. But that's the way it rolled sometimes. There was no guarantee I was going to get all this lot, so I'm happy with that. But I am now selling two of those because they're duplicates. So that was the last Eaglemoss unboxing that I did. And these I'm going to try and do over the course of this weekend to sort of get them out of the way, and then I'll gradually release them over the next little while. But I will mention the auction on those as well as I do them. The auction may finish, or it may well continue. There may well be some unsold items because, interestingly, one thing I discovered when I was doing all this, and I just churned through them on Monday, which is crazy doing 58 auctions setting up on one day. There may well have been a smarter way to do it, but I'm not that experienced on eBay. But when you do a duplicate auction on eBay, what happens is it hides the duplicate item until the first one's got a bid. I didn't know that. I've never done it before because some of these I had duplicates of duplicates of duplicates. So I've had instances where I've got two of these to sell that are identical. And so I've had to sort of, put two up on auction at the same time. And eBay doesn't really sort of like that as a concept, I think, which is fair enough. So I just thought I would let you know and make you aware of that, because if you're on this channel and if you look at this playlist at all, then obviously you might be a collector, you might have a few gaps. So I thought I would just let you know that I'm trying to sell them at relatively reasonable prices, and if I can make my money back, then I will then try and share some of the proceeds that I make beyond that with the community interest company that I got these from in the first place. Now, obviously, that's very dependent on what they actually go for in terms of their final prices, but they themselves knew that what they were selling them for was quite a reasonable price if someone got them for the asking price. But they didn't have the time on their hands to try and do multiple auctions for all of these. And had I not been on holiday, I wouldn't have had either, because that was a crazy amount of effort. Fortunately, because they were ones that I'd already done videos for, I had some images of them already which I could reuse. But I've now got to do images of all these new ones I've never had before. But it's nice because some of these are like first contact ships, which I haven't really picked up before now, but it's quite nice to be able to sort of do little scenes with them, and that's given me an idea for some other videos I may do down the line. So it's nice to have the options, and it's been a damn sight cheaper doing it like this, even with the petrol, than it would have been had I tried to buy them all individually. Ironically, there's still a few I'm hunting for specifically, but I'll have to try and hunt those down separately because obviously they weren't in this batch. But it's been an interesting experience to try and rifle through them all. I've still got to look at all the magazines, but it's a really good run, plus some spares. So I will try and look at the magazines at the same time as I'm looking at these models, all being well, because I should presumably have a magazine that matches up with all these models. So I just thought I would share that one with you, and just look out for a whole slew of unboxing videos coming to the channel, hopefully not before too long. So cheers, and I'll see you for the next one.